Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 224. And obviously in this one, we're going to go straight into that massive game. All starts, new era for Luton. All starts, against Preston at home. And I like that the new managers, I thought a bit about it more. Obviously, we'll get your thoughts on it, Dad. But I thought a bit more about it. And I thought to myself, well, being at home, that's good for him as well. Experience that Kenilworth Road atmosphere. Obviously, he's played in it. He's finally going to be on our side, like he said. And his interview, he's looking forward to it. But first of all, Dad, how are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. Everyone's cool.
Yep, no, absolutely. Big up to everyone that was inside. But yeah, we'll touch on it first. Obviously, I did a video about it the other day. But what are your thoughts, Dad? So it's officially now Matt Bloomfield. I mean, we was a bit sceptical just because of his CV, but the more we've looked into it, we're more confident, aren't we?
Well, that's it. Basically, on paper, it looks like he hasn't got a huge amount of experience. A lot of fans are worrying because we're close to that drop and things like that. But now we've had time to kind of look at it more and delve into it. It is what we've done in the past. Young manager. We've done it with Nathan Jones, who wasn't even a manager, and look what happened there. Rob Edwards. It didn't work out in the end, but there's a whole lot of issues there. I'm sure we'll come back strong. End of the day, still got to the Premier League. Things like that. And I've listened to him. I've listened to the difference between when he come in and Robert. Obviously, Rob Edwards only needs to tweak a couple of things, but this guy, he's not saying. He's saying that out of possession, that little things like we weren't that great, and we wasn't. That's where we did lose it. Let's be honest. Um, and he's got the best away record in League One. Scored the most goals. That's what we're lacking. Not scoring. We're scoring because we have got a bit of quality, but not as much as we should be. And our defending is and that is a lot to do with our possession stuff when you actually look at it. Um, so yeah, he knows all about us. He's played us over the years, and I was reading about it because I knew I told you he'd scored against us before, and it was when I went. I don't know if you went, Tyler, but it was when we beat him 4-1 at Kenilworth Road. I think McGeehan was playing stuff like that. I think he scored a penalty, or he scored a penalty, and I had a bet on like a £10 bet that we'd win 4-1 or something like that, and someone would score like or something like that. And then, unbeknownst to me, at the same time, obviously he scored. Um, when I got married on that day was when the card was passed around the changing room or before the match or whatever you want, and they all signed it and wished me luck and stuff. So it's quite a mad thing when I realised that was the game that he'd actually scored in. Um, so yeah, also I think he seems like a decent bloke. He talks well. This is the stuff with these younger lads. They've gone out and they're earning their stripes. And they're getting younger and younger. I mean, he's 40, but Brighton managers like 31, and things like that. So they are these new general, and we're sticking with that principle because it has helped us in the past. And yes, he's fresh to Wickham, but the budget, the players he's brought in, you can see that he knows what he's doing. Fred, genius signing. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to him being in the dugout. I think for me, it's a bit early to say, but I'd say like he's a cross between Rob Edwards and Nathan Jones. So yeah, I'm quite positive. Um, we know we've got quality, and there is obviously that little bit of panic. Yeah, it could go wrong, but we normally recruit well. We normally 90% of the time recruit the right manager. does what we need to do. Think about it. John Still to get up from the conference after the failures before, when 2020 were like right in it.
He was basically the one who kickstarted us to get where we got now, isn't it? Really.
A little bit in League Two. We want to be better than that. See, mate, Nathan Jones, no nerd of him. Yes, he bounced when we eventually got up to League One, but we won the league that season, first season in there. And then had a blip, COVID and that with Graham Jones. But when we got the opportunity,
that was the only one I can think of.
Yeah. And then the next manager, Nathan Jones, back again, saved us, done what he needed to do. We was in a lot worse position then than we are now. And then when he went again, Southampton, in a good position, brought in Rob Edwards, done what was needed to be done. And then had a memorable season in the Premier League as well. So we're acting because we have to act. And I think it's a good appointment. I'm pretty confident, to be honest with you. I like him.
Yeah, going back to the possession thing as well, there was a comment he made about it, which was good. He was basically saying, I don't like to just sit on the ball. I want to do stuff when we are in possession. I like to hear that because, again, thank you for what Rob Edwards did. But, there was times where, like you say, that the possession with us, we were so bad defensively because we were just trying to sit on the ball and get more possession. Like, it really doesn't matter. It's like I said in the video, when they played Portsmouth, Portsmouth on paper, I know everything's not on paper, but they are the better side. They are the championship side. They had more possession and Wickham just dealt with them with less possession. I want to be like that again, having less possession, being that, having that sort of dogged sort of attitude, I guess, to go on and win. And again, Preston is that type of game because they're a physical, hard-working team. They do remind me of us in ways. They've got them players that work hard and get that determination when we're on it. And again, like a lot of people said, it just needed a new voice. And when you're losing constantly, a lot of games we just weren't confident. Especially towards the end. Me myself personally, I just didn't really see where we were getting goals under Rob Edwards. So we needed that change of voice. And like I said, I was sceptical at first, but the more I've looked into stuff, I'm more confident that he can be the man, like I said, to take it forward, like I said the other day. And yeah, we'll be going to his first 2 games, home and away. So that'll be interesting to see how they go. Hopefully, like we say, he can change that waveform. But obviously, we'll get into that, in a few days' time. But yeah, that's our thoughts on that. But yeah, moving on to the game tomorrow. So Preston, like I say, obviously the reverse fixture, we did lose 1-0. I was at that game as well. Very dominant, but just, the chances we were having were half chances. The only good chance I probably think of in that reverse fixture was Mengi, where the keeper had to tip it over. It was such a annoying performance. I mean, Liam Walsh come on and actually played well in that game. He was our best player and he went even on for,
I forgot about my man as well when I was doing my lineups as well. So we've got options, man.
And that was, I know he's obviously left now, but that was Chio's last game for us as well, actually. I remember that as well. Obviously, we was wearing the away kit. But, yeah, especially me, since I've went to games, I don't have a good times going to Preston. I mean, the last 2 times I went there, we haven't even scored a goal. So, yeah, it's one of them away. It's a bit hit and miss over the years for us. I remember, I think the last time we played them was midweek before that at their ground and drew 1-1. And then I think the year before that might beat them narrowly. But yeah, they've been tight games, over the years against them. But going into this game, obviously we sit in 20th, obviously on 25 points. If we did win, depending on what Derby and Stoke do, you'd sort of want Derby to win, though, if I'm going to be honest, because they're playing them lot down the road. Stoke are away to West Brom, so that's going to be interesting. But say we did win, we could jump up to 18th, depending on what Derby do, like I say. Preston do sit in 15th. A win for them could put them up to 13th, depending on what Millwall QPR do. Obviously, Millwall are one of the early kickoffs. A draw could maybe put them up to 14th. A draw for us would keep us in 20th. Depending on what other teams do, it could even put us lower. So the points are still very tight, as we know. A bit more insight going into it. Luton Town have failed to win any of their last 3 league games against Preston, drawing 1, losing 2, with those matches witnessing just 4 goals in total. So, like I say, they're not high-scoring affairs, really. After winning the reverse fixture 1-0 at Deepdale in August, Preston will be looking to complete a league double over Luton since the 1999-2000 season. Luton Town have lost each of their last 4 league games, last losing 5 back in a row in November 2019. Preston have won just 1 of their last 17 Championship away games, drawing 6, losing 10, beating Cardiff 2-0 in December. And then this one's quite an interesting one. Ideally not great reading, but a good opportunity for Bloomfield to turn it around. Including caretakers / interims, none of the last 6 Luton Town managers have won their first game of a spell in charge, drawing 5, losing 1, since Andy Alford's Hatters beat Exeter 3-2 in December 2015. So obviously been a very, very long time when it comes to that. The only interim I can really think of, because I can't really remember Nathan Jones and Rob Edwards' first games, is Mick Arthur when he had to come back in when Nathan Jones left, the 1-1 draw with Rotherham. That's the only one I can really think of over the years. So good opportunity, like I say, for him to turn that around for us and break a record. But yeah, a bit more on Preston. They've had inconsistency with their results, but come to Kenilworth Road on one of their best runs of the season with 3 wins and 1 defeat in their last 5 in all competitions. They obviously got to the League Cup last 16, obviously losing to Arsenal, as you would expect. Found a consistent run of results difficult to acquire until this point. It's been a tough season for Preston on their travels, with just 1 Championship away win all season. So the exact same as us when it comes to that, which came in December at Cardiff. They've lost their last 2 since. The key man for the Lily Whites is ML Rees, who has 7 goals this season and set up Will Keane's winner against us back in April. To be fair, their goal was decent. I remember that goal. It was not a bad finish. Did have Shane in goal that game, and he had no chance of getting to that. But the officials for this game, we've got a Premier League referee. I don't get that. I mean, last game, I get it. We're playing Forest away, but yeah, last time we had this ref, it's Tim Robinson. Last time we had him was when we drew with Everton. Very unlucky not to win that game at Kenilworth Road. 66 yellow cards and 1 red card has been handed out by him across his 14 games this season. 8 of his 14 fixtures have been in the Premier League, and he has had 4 in the Championship. But yeah, sometimes their punishment's getting, put a lower league down. But for me, it should be even further down, to be honest, half of them. But yeah, after saying all that, Dad, how are you feeling? Like I say, you sort of hinted that you're feeling a bit confident earlier.
Yeah, like I expect a response from the team. Changing the manager generally it does G you up. They've obviously all got a lot more ability, most of them, than the position in the table states. But yeah, I think it's going to be competitive. The fans will be there. They'll be on point. Be a little bit excited when you start getting in there and that, especially if we show that spirit and things like that. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to it. I'm quite confident that we can get a result, to be honest with you.
Mm. Yeah, shout out to Photo in the chat. Sportive, I think that is. He says, I can't say that guy's name, I'll be honest, but Greenwood, yeah, I know you're on about this. Sam Greenwood, he's decent, yeah. And that's the thing, they've got them players that do remind me of ours when they're on it. The likes of like Morris and that, in the sense of they're physical and they are, they will give it a go in that sense.
And also, I watched their game the other night. I think they rested a couple of players against Charlton. But Charlton were unlucky,
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Nathan Jones was disappointed with the goals they conceded.
Yeah, the first one especially. The second one, it was all right. So, but they could have pushed that into extra time, definitely. Barry scored their goal. Good crosses. They were on them, and if we play, I said to you, if we play like that against Preston, we've got better players, then I think we'll beat them. They've had that as well. We've had a longer rest, a little bit you know, time. Yes, we've got a new manager, but like I said, it's just a whole G up thing. You know, seeing the pictures, obviously they're going to get on anyway. Do you know what I mean? But everything that's been said and he's proved it in that league. You know, he's played two championship teams this season and beaten both, Swansea and Portsmouth, without conceding a goal, I think. Um, I've watched some of their highlights. You know what I mean? They get players in certain positions, kind of like what we were starting to do. You know, like with Kraus and that bombing forward and not people getting, you know, but it was just disjointed. But I think he's gonna, you know, inflict that so it's constant, and that's basically like it was in the Premier League. Well, for half a season, and then we injuries and we just went to shit. Then let's be honest. I think he's going to incorporate that quite quickly. I think people are going to be surprised.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's the thing as well. When you know they've been looking at him for a while, you know Gary Sweet sort of hinted that he's going to get someone who's under a current job, and like he's openly said, that they've been looking for a while and stuff at Bloomfield as well. So it's all interesting. But it's going to be interesting. Like the game as well, taking away the new manager potential bounce that there could be, just Preston's away from. Like I say, it's literally like ours. But they got a few more obviously draws and stuff. But yeah, one win like us, Millwall away for us. It's interesting really when it comes to it. But again, it's one of them where I would be a lot more nervy playing them away just because of them recent games, especially the ones I have went to against them. But being at home, new manager bounce, it could be a good opportunity. Bloomfield could break that record that I mentioned earlier. No manager that's come in first game for us has won since 2015, including interim. So it could be a good opportunity for him to do that. And the most important thing is obviously getting results, but that away form. Hopefully, he can bring what he had for Wickham for us in that sense as well. And obviously, that starts on Tuesday, hopefully, against Oxford. But yeah, going into the lineup now, it is a bit of a guess, really, because obviously you don't really know what he's going to go with. He does rotate between his formations. Sometimes he plays a back four, sometimes he plays a back three. But yeah, I'll go with obviously what I've gone with that I would go with in this game. So let me just move that banner. There we go. So Kaminsky in goal. Gone with the back four. I've gone with a formation I'd like to go with recently, which is obviously that 4-1-3-2. So Kaminsky in goal goes without saying. Bit surprised he started in the cup, but again prevented it from being more. He's a great keeper for us. Shot stop ability is incredible, as we know. Sometimes I'd like his distribution to be a bit better, but yeah, it's not been as bad as it was in patches this season. Back four, I've gone Hashioka because Walters. A couple of games I've seen it now. He's not strong enough on the ball. He's still got a lot to learn, so I'm not going to be too critical. But I don't know. I want to see Hashioka, man. I don't like the way he was thrown out, towards Rob Edwards' end of his time. I think he deserves a chance, man. I was at the Norwich game and just seeing him warm up and knowing he weren't going to come on, it was frustrating. So I want to see him start this game personally. Bell on the left, again, Doughty's still out. Apparently he's closer, but I'm going to go with Bell. I don't think Bell's been awful since he's come back. He's been all right. He's not stood out really, but he's been okay. Holmes and McGuinness. Hopefully McGuinness don't have a moment of disaster, I guess you could say, this game. Obviously, he started off well against Forest, but then the goal, he's ball watching. It's not good enough, especially when you pay that money for him and he does silly things like that. He does the harder things, and pulls it off, but the little things, he needs to concentrate a bit better, in my opinion. But he can bring that set piece element of a threat. Holmes, again, I like Holmes. It was actually a year ago today we signed him. I do remember that, and then him just going back out to Reading. So yeah, fair play to him. It's good that he's coming in now to the team. I like that. The one in front, I've gone Nakamba. I thought Nakamba in the last home game was really good. Immense, best player for me against Norwich. Considering the game before that, he was awful. Let's be honest, Swansea away. The last home game he was good. I was really impressed with Nakamba. So I'll go with him. Obviously, Lamin's not available for this game. Not surprised we get a new signing, they get injured. And then I'm going to go with Nelson on the left side. He is available. I think there was doubts maybe because of a potential concussion. Obviously, when he come off, obviously he got stamped on pretty much. So he is available, which is great. He's been decent. He's been decent. Obviously, again, similar to Walters, still got a lot to learn. But I'll go with Nelson. I think he's quite composed on the ball at times. So yeah, I'll go with him. Jones on the right, you have to go with him. New signing, you've got to utilise him. He was good against Forest. He was one of the better players up there with Walsh for me. On that right hand side, he was very, very good. Obviously, nearly did score as well. So I'm going to go with him definitely. And then as the cam, I've gone with the cam. I've gone Walsh. I was going to maybe go with Chong, but then realised he's not available. Clark, nah. I think Walsh, man. Walsh was, for me, let me know what you guys think. But I think he was the best player against Forest. I thought that shot he had from distance, probably about 30 yards out, that wasn't a bad shot. A bit more to the right, that probably went in, let's be honest. And I think he's been good, yeah. He's trying his hardest, for the team. So I'll go with Walsh. And then my two up front, I think we've got to change it up. Now, I'll start with Morris. One, because he's the captain. And two, he can bring that element of holding up the ball well. But I think he needs someone else there because if you've got Elijah there at this moment, they're both similar in that sense, especially with their performances, like in the sense of they both try and hold it up and it's quite predictable. I don't want to see one up front tomorrow. Bloomfield does it a lot. I looked at his ones at Wickham and he does do it a lot. But I feel if you're going to do that, put Elijah there or Brown. Don't put Morris there because he ain't got that pace to get behind. Put Morris deeper if you're going to do that, in my personal opinion. So I would go Brown. I would go Brown up there with Morris. Brown, he's done well. He brings a bit of a different dimension, especially a lot of games I've watched, been able to watch, live. I've seen him drop deep a lot of times and help, come in and help. And then if you've got Morris in front, trying to make them runs, at least he ain't going to be doing that. And you've got someone else to do that in Brown. Brown can do a bit of all of them, really, can't he? So, yeah, I'll go with Brown in this game, actually, and put Elijah on, as a threat towards the end. Because there was a game, I can't remember what it was. It was a midweek game where he come on and he done really well. I think it might have been Cardiff, maybe, something like that. So, yeah, that's my lineup going into this game. So, yeah, it's all interesting. But Dad, your lineup, you've gone with two because again we're sort of guessing two different formations. So yeah, there's your first one.
Yeah, because like I say, we're not sure how he's going to go. Over three at the back, four at the back. This is kind of preferred formation, I think. So obviously Kaminsky, I have gone Walters. I have seen him do better. And he's got to prove himself as well. I think that back four of Walters, McGuinness, Holmes, and Bell is quite decent. You could put Johnson there. This is what I'm saying. We've got options. I forgot about Walsh.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and he was man of the match for us.
Yeah, so I've gone with the two defensive midfielders, which he likes. And they're both of them are decent for that. And then Jones definitely starting. Nelson on the other side. I've gone with Elijah because of his pace and getting in, cutting in, and that. And I think that Morris could play just behind him. In that role there.
Yeah,
I think he's probably he can hold the ball up and release. And if he's got Nelson and Jones bombing on, then if we play it properly, then it's going to work, isn't it? So that's one choice.
Oh, sorry. Forgot you control all that.
Yeah, so this is three at the back. Again, like you say, you've got Ahashioka on the bench, things like that. We've got Moses. We've got players that are around. But I've gone with a back three in this case, Walters, McGuinness, and Holmes. Holmes has played it on that side plenty of times. I've done all right. Again, you're going to start Jones. Midfield's kind of more aligned, but it's the same players. And then Clark just in front of them. Could put Walsh there, like you said, and then have the two up front of Morris and Elijah for me. And then see what happens. Do you know what I mean? I think that could happen as well. So I think it's going to be one of them two formations, obviously, but it's going to be interesting to see what personnel is put, positions and things like that.
Yeah, no, for sure, it's going to be very interesting to see. Come 3:00 tomorrow, we're probably going to be figuring out more than we have at times this season, because a lot of times when we've looked at the lineup, we're thinking, hold up, we changed it up or what? So, it'd be interesting to see whether it is that back four or back three mainly for me when it comes to that. But yeah, some other comments we have got. Believe we have Preston fan in the chat. Second bottom is Ryan Mark on 2 up to garbage. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised about that because I thought he'd come in and shoot you guys up the table a little bit, I'll be honest. But yeah, that's quite interesting that you say that. Imran plays down both sides. If he plays, yeah, it'd be interesting in that sense. You've gone with the lineup that you reckon Preston will go with as well. Yeah, I mean, some interesting ones there. Obviously, Greenwood, like I say, he's decent. And they've got that experience.
I like Ledson, I think he's a good midfielder on that.
Yeah, they've got good experience. It's one of them. They do, like I say, they do remind me of us in ways. The physical, how they sort of are. Physical, good players. Some experience. You know what I mean? They do remind me of that. Jackie says, I like your lineup, Ty. She's done a score prediction as well. 2-1 Jones and Colton. Morris, common new hatters. Nice. How are you, lads? Big up to yourself, mate. I hope new managers as well in Luton. Yeah, 100%, man. But everyone's feeling quite confident, like we are. Jamie says it's going to be a good day tomorrow. I can feel it. See, we'll be at the game, guys. Something I want to show you at the end of the stream, actually. I haven't even showed you, Dad. It's pretty sick. So, yeah, I can feel it. So, we will be there, guys. We will be there. Even Paul says it as well. Look, great day tomorrow with a win. He's feeling confident. And Jackie also said this earlier, I'm really excited for tomorrow's game. So, a lot of confidence. And that's what we needed as fans, I feel. We needed that change. Of a voice because, it was just getting repetitive and it was just becoming the same old, really, if we're going to be totally honest. And, yeah, man, you've got to give him a chance. Whether you think we should have appointed him or not, you've got to at least give him a chance and then see what happens, really. And, like I said in the video the other day, so I don't want it to happen, but even if we did go down, we'll keep him because he's got that experience now in League One, doing that with Wycombe when they've got not the biggest of budgets, putting them up there against, teams, especially League One this year. It's so competitive. There's so many good teams in League One, especially when I look at that compared to previous years. There's been good teams, but not as many. Literally that playoff conversation is so hard to predict, because there's so many teams and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But, yeah, it's that time, Dad. Do get in yours if you haven't already. Score predictions. Obviously, we'll do our goal scorers as well, if we do think we score, which I'm sure we both do.
Yeah, well, I think we'll be a lot more organised. Maybe you'll see a bit of the old Luton. I think it'll be a lot more attacking, a lot more dangerous. Preston, they'll be wary of new manager bouts and stuff like that. They've got some good players. And they're very organised. Heckingbottom, he'll keep you safe. Do you know what I mean? And if you can invest in players and that, then he's more likely to do well, in my opinion. But generally at home, we've given him a couple of good items, in the past. I don't think we're going to give him a good item, but I'm quite confident that we're going to get a result. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Luton win.
Nice. Well, Dad, we're on the same wavelength. I've got 1-0 as well. But there was a time, obviously, we did beat him 4-0, which is obviously referring to at home. I think Berry scored in that game. Yeah, Collins scored maybe a hat-trick, or he scored at least
4 goals in an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something like that. So, yeah, 1-0. Okay. Who's your goal scorer? Let's see if we go for the same goal scorer.
Elijah.
Elijah, okay. You know what? The chat's saying Jones, and I'm feeling the Jones goal myself, to be honest. You know, he got closer on his debut. You know, he was one of the better players alongside, well, top 2 players for me in that game. So, yeah, I'm going to go Jones to get a goal. And there's no reason why he shouldn't start, to be honest. So, we shall see. Score predictions. Geordie's gone 1-1. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, if I didn't say 1-0, I'd have probably said 1-1 just because of that stat I read out earlier. New manager. I just, obviously, hopefully, I'm, wrong here, but they're not wrong. Sorry, but I just can't see us losing. I can see us maybe drawing or winning. I just think it's a new change now. Do you know what I mean? And we do predominantly have a good record against Preston at home. The only one I can think of in recent years that 1-0 loss, but even then, it took us a while to get our home form going. Then we eventually beat Blackburn 2-0. I remember Reece Burke scored a banger at that game. So, other than that, I can't really think of games against them at home. It's more the away games where we've not been as good. So, yeah. Jamie's gone 2-1 to Luton. 3-1, Elijah, Brown, Kraus. Okay, that'll be interesting. Obviously, I didn't put Kraus in my lineup.
That's what I'm saying. We have got more options.
You sort of forgot because he hasn't been in the lineup. Well, he wasn't against QPR, which I was surprised about. Well, he was in it, but not starting. I mean, I can't remember if he was in against Forest. Was he in against Forest? I don't think he was he? Yeah, that's what I mean. So I've just sort of forgot about him. And I didn't really want to be fair. But yeah, I like Nakamba in his last game. That's why I went with him against Norwich. He was really good in that game. So, I think if you put him in front, he can do all right and then have that pace on the other sides in Nelson and Jones personally. But we'll see. Jamie's gone Jones and Elijah to score. Yeah, fair enough. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, both going for a 1-0 win. Obviously, the points, by the way, I did get the Forest game spot on. So I am now 3 points ahead when it comes to that. So I have now put myself on 17 points. Obviously, Dad, you're on 14. See, you thought maybe we'd sneak on penalties. I mean, looking back at the game, obviously we didn't do a full reaction on it. But looking back at it, we it was annoying. It reminded me of Leeds away. They didn't even need to try really. They didn't really need to get out of first gear. It was just so disappointing from us again. But we've got a new change now, so I didn't really want to talk about it because of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Any final things, Dad, you want to say about anything, though?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it and seeing. Obviously, you can't implement everything, so there'll still be little things there that
we'll need to improve on.
Yeah, but generally, that squad is good enough. I bet he's proper excited himself to be working with some of their players, and I just think it's like a new term, isn't it? A new thing. You're kind of looking at all them players fresh again. As the quality that they're on paper that they are, and we're expected to be challenging. So you're kind of looking at it like that as well. So if he can bring the best out of them players, there's no reason why we can't finish in the top 10. I think. I think it's going to surprise people. Some people want to be negative and this, that, and the other. But I think we'll grind out a result and get the fans behind him instantly. There we go. We've got Oxford. That's a winnable away game.
It's quite a turnaround because that's on Tuesday. So
yeah, but that's a winnable game. So yeah, let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, same. And like a lot of us, obviously, you guys in the chat are as well because it's what we needed in it, change. So, let's just get behind him and let's see what can happen, really. But yeah, the Oxford game, I'll definitely keep an eye on that. Obviously, that's the same time as ours. They're playing Blackburn at home, so that'll be very interesting. It's obviously Blackburn are 5th, I believe, right now. So let's see if Oxford can get anything out of that. If they can, then that'll be very interesting. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see when it comes to that. But yeah, the final thing, guys, I want to show you lot. Right, pretty sick. Come today. So obviously we do the fan cams, as you lot know, right? We've got this on the microphones now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool on both sides. Shout out to Jamie, obviously got me these. So yeah, I will be there tomorrow. I'll just put them there for now. So yeah, there's two of them, but obviously I need to get the other bit for the mic. Hoping to do something at the end of the season with it. But yeah, obviously we'll have that. So yeah, man, I will be there. So if anyone wants to come over for a fan cam, obviously the regulars will be there. Obviously David and Mike will be there for one. And yeah, come over for that. Obviously there will be a vlog as well. And Luton stewards are not sausages like Blackburn. They actually let me in with a microphone because it's only a microphone. It's not going to hurt anyone. You know, I got in there with Norwich, no problem. So yeah, you know, it's just one of them in it really. But I don't know if I'll take it to Oxford yet. I might have to see about that one, to be fair. But either way, I'll bring something that blocks out the background noise. But yeah, man, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Like I say, smash a like, do subscribe if you haven't already. And again, no people watch back on playbacks. Do smash a like there. Follow me across all my socials. Links to them are all in the description. And like I say, I will be there tomorrow. So do tune in to everything when it drops after the game. And then, like I say, I will be at Oxford as well. So if anyone's there, then yeah, do let me know, man. But that'll be good and everything like that. So big up to everyone. And yeah, shout out to Neil in the chat coming you at us. Absolutely new change. Let's let's back the team and let's see what can happen, man. So yeah, man, big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like, subscribe, all that. Follow me across all the socials. Subscribe to the extra channel. And yeah, man, until tomorrow, I will see you lot in a bit. We'll do a hat show Monday. Monday. So we can get into the game on Tuesday. And we'll have team news by then as well. So we'll do it all in one again. So yeah, man, big up to everyone. Take care and peace. Come on, Luton.